This is my self-reflection on my video lesson. For my video lesson, I had divided my class into small groups of 4 students. There were 4 groups. Each group was working on a different letter recognition or reading. First group was working on computers, identifying letters. The second group was working on matching letters. The third group was working with the teacher on an art project utilizing letters. And then my small group was working on reading. Excuse me. For my small group, we discussed what the cover of the book was, what a title was, what the illustrator was, as well as what the author was. Then we proceeded to read the book together as a group. I had the students follow along and point to each word as we read it. Once we finished the book, we then broke into 2 small groups. So each group was a pair of students. I had divided this class into readers that excelled and then readers that needed a little more assistance. This is a kindergarten classroom, so we're all learning to read at this point in time. For my group that is struggling just a little bit, I partnered them up together and worked with them one-on-one. I had the students point to the letters. If there was a point to the words, excuse me. If there was a word they were unsure of, they then identified the letter and then the sound it made. And then we were able to use our context clues and our pictures to figure out what the word was. Each student read 1 page and then alternated. Had time allowed, I would have had them read the whole book to their partner, and then I would have had them silent read. Something I would have changed within this lesson is the classroom was a little noisy. I would have maybe redone my groups a little different. I could have had strong readers with weak readers. I could have paired them up that way. Although I wanted to work one-on-one with the students that needed a little more assistance. As far as the other groups go, the teacher-led group was actually the noisy group in the classroom. Being that it was her classroom, I really didn't want to step on her toes. However, if it would have been my own classroom, I would have asked for a quieter environment. Something that I could have done different is I could have had the students partnered differently. We could have utilized different, like there were words such as the word game that they were not familiar with. We could have made flashcards to represent those letters and maybe worked on sounding those letters out and figuring out what the word was. Once we read the lesson, I did then proceed on with some cards to identify more words that were not our sight words, but words that we will be utilizing in the future. I felt the students did really good with those. Time was also an issue. Once again, I'm not the classroom teacher. I followed her instructions. She said this is how long our groups are going to be. I was able to decide what the groups were, and then from there, I'm kind of at her will. I thought this was a great lesson. I think it went really well. I really enjoy making the videos. I think this will be a great tool to utilize in the future when I do have my own class. Thank you.